Right now on Morning News Now, travel ban renewed and expanded. President Trump announcing the return of one of the most divisive policies of his first term.
We will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm, and nothing will stop us from keeping America safe.
Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, Republicans under pressure as Elon Musk pushes to kill the president's so-called big, beautiful bill. All this as the White House escalates its fight against Ivy League schools. We will have the latest. Also, a major development in a bombing attack on a Southern California fertility clinic. What we're learning about a second suspect now under arrest. On the horizon this morning, another severe storm targeting parts of the U.S. after days of rain, hail, even tornadoes. We are tracking the system, the warnings, and which areas are most at risk. And it's out of this world. It may not be a new planet, but experts say a cosmic new discovery could still unlock the secrets of the universe. We'll tell you what they found at the edge of our solar system.
Anything that could unlock the secrets of the universe feels significant. So we'll delve into that. Good morning. Good to have you with us. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. This morning, we begin with President Trump reviving one of the most controversial policies from his first term. In a proclamation, he announced a full travel ban yesterday, barring foreign nationals from 12 countries from entering the United States. 7 others were placed under partial restrictions. The president said, we will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm.
This ban targets countries the president has deemed a threat to national security. They're mostly African and Asian countries. Some of the most notable names, Afghanistan, Iran, and much closer to home, Haiti. On top of that, Cuba and Venezuela are on the list of countries facing a partial ban. Announcing the move yesterday, the president referenced this weekend's terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, carried out by a suspect who had overstayed his foreign visa.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them.
We have to point out that the attack in Boulder was allegedly carried out by a man from Egypt, a country that is nowhere to be found on either of these lists. The new restrictions are set to take effect on Monday. NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos is standing by with more on how all this could play out in the courts, as this is certain to face legal challenges. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez, though, has the latest from Washington. Let's start with you, Gabe. Tell us more about who will be impacted by these new restrictions and what are some of those exemptions.
Hi there, Joe. Good morning. Well, you laid it out quite well. This involves 12 countries with that full ban, partial restrictions, though, to 7 other countries. Those 12 countries include Iran, Libya, Afghanistan, which has upset critics of this administration who say Afghanistan should not be on the list, given that so many Afghans helped the U.S. during armed conflicts there. Now, with the other countries that have partial restrictions, that includes Cuba and Venezuela. Now, Joe, this shouldn't come as a surprise to people that have been following this administration. During the campaign, President Trump said repeatedly that he wanted to increase vetting for immigrants coming to the United States. As White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller has repeatedly made the case for this. And earlier on in the administration, the president had signed an executive order essentially ordering the State Department to look at vetting procedures from different countries. But this can be seen, and is being seen by many, as the Trump travel ban 2.0. Now, you'll remember during the first administration, there was a lot of chaos when that first travel ban was enacted that critics called a Muslim ban. However, certain parts of it were later upheld by the Supreme Court. This appears to be the Trump administration learning from that experience and enacting this sweeping ban. Joe.
Gabe, I want to go back to the fact, as Joe mentioned, Egypt's not on either of these lists, but the president did open his statement announcing these travel restrictions by referencing this attack in Boulder, Colorado by an alleged Egyptian national. What is the White House saying about how they came up with the list, why the countries that are on it are, and why those that are not?
Well, yes, the White House is saying that the timing of this may have something to do, at least a little bit, in terms of moving up the announcement because of that incident in Boulder, Colorado, even though the suspect, again, from Egypt, that country not on this list. But the reason the administration will point out that this was already in the works. This is not something that was just thought of in the last few days. And clearly, from the amount of detail here, this has been in the works for quite some time. And from the early days of this second term, the White House was planning this. Should be interesting, though, in terms of the timing here. This proclamation, as well as several other executive actions late last night, was announced on a day where the news was dominated by that ongoing feud between Elon Musk and the president. So certainly raising a lot of questions about the timing of this. News cycle shifting quite a bit, though.
All right, Gabe, thank you. And you're going to stay with us to help us cover some other news in just a moment. Thank you. But for more on this new travel ban, let's bring back NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalas. Danny, good morning. So under the law, how much power does the president have to make a decision like this?
In short, a lot. And we learned that from the first Trump administration in a Supreme Court decision called Trump v. Hawaii, in which you may recall, and it's almost really coming up on 10 years ago now, that the Trump administration the first time around issued a series of these so-called travel bans, retracted them, went back to the drawing board, edited them, sent them back out. But ultimately, what the Supreme Court determined is that the executive has considerable power as long as they show their work properly. And what I mean by that, as long as they tie it to things like national security interests and specific agency action, then these bans may be lawful. If, on the other hand, the ban facially targets things like race, national origin, religion, ethnicity, things like that are likely to make a travel ban less likely to be upheld by the courts. And so the takeaway is that the Trump administration has learned this time around to show their work, to tie it to what the Supreme Court has essentially said would be a lawful exercise of executive power.
Still, Danny, we can expect that there will be legal challenges. What is different this time around? What type of challenges could we see?
The first time around, I would say the travel bans were marked by chaos. They were hastily scribbled out, shoved out into the ether. And that is why the Trump administration the first time around had to keep going back and really literally redlining them, editing them, and putting them back out. This time around, obviously, the administration has read Trump v. Hawaii, and they know that the key is tying it to the executive's broad power when it comes to national security under immigration law. So by tying it and, again, showing their work, because there is something called the Administrative Procedure Act, where if an executive action is arbitrary or capricious or not based on anything, then it's more challengeable. In this case, what we see is the Trump administration has appeared to tie this very specifically to agency action and specific national security interests, essentially identifying what countries have not done their jobs in the Trump administration's view when it comes to national security.
All right, Danny, thank you so much. Appreciate your analysis here. Also this morning, just days after exiting the administration, Elon Musk is now very much at odds with President Trump. A White House official told NBC News the administration is weighing its response after Musk launched a social media campaign against the president's so-called Big Beautiful Bill.
As Republicans race to get the tax cut and spending bill through the Senate and onto the president's desk by July 4th, Musk has been publicly slamming the bill, calling it a pork-filled abomination. House Speaker Mike Johnson downplayed the rift when asked about it yesterday, but he admitted President Trump is not pleased.
Well, I'll tell you, I called Elon last night and he didn't answer, but I hope to talk to him today. I mean, it's not, it's very friendly and we've laughed about our differences on policy before. I'm not upset about this. I talk to President Trump, all the time, multiple times a day. Obviously, we've talked about this. As you know, he's not delighted that Elon did a 180 on that.
All right, let's bring back NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez for more on this story, which Gabe teased earlier. So this breakup between Elon Musk and Mr. Trump is something maybe critics have joked about or at least predicted for a long time. It does look like their relationship is getting rocky, to say the least. Just how far do we think Elon Musk is taking this? And do we know anything else about how the president is responding?
Hi there, Joe. Good morning once again. Yeah, not delighted. House Speaker Mike Johnson, definitely an understatement there. Look, according to a senior White House official that I spoke with yesterday, the president was caught off guard, although not entirely surprised by Elon Musk's opposition to the bill. What is surprising some people at the White House is the forcefulness of his public opposition. You'll remember, Joe and Savannah, that it was just a few days ago, less than a week ago, that President Trump hosted Elon Musk in the Oval Office. He gave him that golden key as he left his time in government service. And now, over the last several days, Elon Musk has been ramping up his attacks. Yesterday, even coming out on social media and urging Americans to call their members of Congress and kill the bill. Now, this is upsetting many people in Trump's orbit, according to multiple sources, although it is notable, Joe and Savannah, that the president, who, of course, is known to go before the cameras pretty much every day, he has not taken questions from reporters since late Friday evening. It's Thursday now, so almost a week that he hasn't held any sort of news availability or press availability. Certainly, as you mentioned in the introduction, the president weighing exactly how to respond directly to Elon Musk. Notable that he hasn't done so yet. He has taken on critics of this so-called big, beautiful bill before, including Senator Rand Paul, but has not criticized Elon Musk directly just yet, Joan Savannah.
And Gabe, I'm wondering right now if we may see more criticism. I mean, as you just mentioned, we've seen resistance to parts of this bill from a handful of Republican senators. Is the criticism that Musk is spewing, is it creating an opening for more people in the party to distance themselves from this bill and put its future ultimately in doubt?
Look, it does give some fiscal conservatives some cover to come out and criticize this bill, perhaps more openly. It remains to be seen, though, whether that will ultimately make any difference in the Senate. Now, there was a group of Republican senators that came to the White House yesterday and spoke with President Trump, the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, saying that, quote, failure was not an option. Look, the stakes here are incredibly high for President Trump's agenda, and the president knows it. And it will be very interesting to see if Republicans, fiscal conservatives, even though they may have problems with several parts of this bill, whether they will go against the president's wishes, go against the president's agenda. They have not seemed very willing to do that so far at all, really, in this second term.
Yeah, and when we actually talk about the details of the bill, you know, the Congressional Budget Office is out with new estimates for the potential impact if it's enacted as is. What are we learning about how this could impact the deficit and also health insurance coverage?
Well, certainly very significant over the next decade, according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. It says that this bill could potentially add $2.4 trillion to the deficit over the next decade, also potentially cause nearly 11 million Americans to be uninsured over the next decade if this bill passes in its current form. But look, supporters of the bill argue that the Congressional Budget Office has been wrong before and that these projections are off. Still, though, critics using those numbers to point out why Republicans should not back this bill. And certainly Elon Musk is focusing on the deficit argument, although there are some in the White House, some of the bill's supporters that argue that Musk is opposed to this bill because it does away with some tax credits for electric vehicles, which could potentially impact his business, Johnson.
Yeah, all right, Gabe, a lot to cover this morning. Thanks so much.
Yeah, let's dig into these emerging economic implications here of this bill with Investopedia's editor-in-chief, our friend Caleb Silver. Caleb, good morning. So let's start on that estimate there that Gabe just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, $2.4 trillion over 10 years added to the debt. What does that mean for our economy, the bond market, Wall Street?
Yeah, the math isn't mathing here because we're just increasing the deficit. And the problem is that we have to pay interest on our debt all the time. That's why you hear the president saying constantly, you got to lower interest rates now because those interest rates are tied to our deficit. So Gabe said it, $2.4 trillion over the next decade, but a loss of $3.7 trillion in revenue. Where's the money going to come from if you're going to extend the tax breaks? Well, the Trump administration would tell you they're going to come from tariffs. Those should, if they go into place as of today with the numbers we're looking at, those should reduce the deficit by $2.8 trillion, but they're not going to go into place the way they are today. So we're looking at a mounting deficit, which is why you see this big sell-off in the dollar and in our treasury bonds. We are going to have to pay more and more to service our debt as a country, and that takes money away from spending.
Speaking of numbers, we have some eye-opening jobs numbers. Yesterday, we learned private sector hiring rose by just 37,000 in May. That comes from the payrolls processing firm ADP. It was well below forecast, the lowest monthly job total since March 2023. Why the slump here, and what is that telling us just about the overall health of our economy?
Yeah, we like to look at private payrolls because we do get that jobs report. We're going to get it tomorrow, actually, for the month of May, but they take that in the first half of the month. Private payrolls are private companies reporting how many people they're actually taking on board. It's a little more exact, and that's a very weak number when you think about the strength of the economy going into this year. So that's a really low number, and it's the first sort of hiccup we've seen in the jobs market. Again, tomorrow is the May jobs report. We'll also get the unemployment rate. That's been holding at 4.2%. Companies have basically not been firing a lot of people, but we know the hiring has been slowing. And the Federal Reserve came out with its beige book yesterday. It's actually red, but it's the beige book. And it said that companies are increasing prices, slowing down their hiring, and they're seeing slowing growth. So we're starting to see the first impacts of these tariffs, whether they are real or they are still in flux. They are affecting companies' ability to hire and spend money.
Caleb, we also heard the president once again call for the Fed Chair Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. This has been going on for quite some time now. Why is the president wanting to cut them, and then why is the Fed not cutting them? Remind us.
Yeah, well, Fed Chair Powell and the president allegedly met last week, and the Fed Chair said, we're not going to be influenced by politics, but Trump said yesterday in one of his posts, too late, Powell, you got to lower interest rates now because the private hiring was so weak. If you lower interest rates, you make money cheaper, companies can spend more, borrow more, but it also, the key thing is that it reduces those interest payments on our debt. That's holding back the government from doing a lot of the spending that it wants to do. Lower interest rates lowers that bill, but the Fed chair is not going to do it. We have a Fed meeting in 13 days, 6 hours and 50 minutes. Doesn't look like the Fed's lowering rates at that meeting.
All right, Caleb, thank you.
Now, the Trump administration's battle with elite colleges is escalating this morning. The Department of Education is threatening to take away Columbia University's accreditation. It claims the school is in violation of federal anti-discrimination laws for failing to protect Jewish students.
The decision means Columbia could lose their eligibility for federal student loans or Pell Grants. Now, back in April, the president announced he was targeting the accreditation process for several Ivy League schools and that some could lose those certifications.
For more, let's bring in NBC News correspondent Maya Eglin. She's at Columbia and joins us with the latest. Maya, good morning. So first, help us understand just what the Trump administration is claiming Columbia did to violate federal anti-discrimination laws.
Yeah, good morning, Joe and Savannah. So this letter from the Department of Education was actually to Columbia's accreditation body, Middle States Commission on Higher Education. And they're saying that they believe Columbia University is in violation of these federal anti-discrimination laws for its treatment of Jewish students and the Jewish community. The statement reads in part, accreditors have an enormous public responsibility as gatekeepers of federal student aid, just as the Department of Education has an obligation to uphold federal anti-discrimination law. University accreditors have an obligation to ensure member institutions are abiding by their standards. So this treatment of Jewish students is really all surrounding everything that happened following the October 7th attacks in Israel, the ongoing pro-Palestinian movement here on campus and at Columbia. Now, this does not mean that Columbia has lost its accreditation yet, but now the accreditation body is going to have to meet with leadership here at the university and kind of review the evidence before a final decision is made. Joe and Savannah.
Maya, didn't Columbia address a lot of these concerns back in March that the Trump administration had? Why is this being pursued now?
Yeah, so as you just mentioned, Savannah, back in March, Columbia actually agreed to a lot of the demands that the Trump administration had in order to try and get back the $400 million of federal funding that they lost. So we know that the university has been in close conversation with the Trump administration. We actually got a response from Columbia yesterday, reading in part, quote, Columbia is aware of the concerns raised by the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights. To our creditor, Columbia is deeply committed to combating anti-Semitism on our campus. We take this issue seriously and are continuing to work with the federal government to address it. If Columbia were to lose their accreditation status, this would have a ripple effect, mainly impacting students, including, as you mentioned, Savannah, at the top, a loss of federal student loans and Pell Grants, which could deeply impact even the future students here at Columbia.
And Maya, this isn't the only institution being targeted. Yesterday, President Trump said his administration plans to deny visas for international students trying to come to the U.S., specifically to attend Harvard. A lot of tension between Trump and Harvard. Didn't a federal judge already block a similar move last month?
Yeah, so last month there was a federal judge who blocked the Trump administration's attempt to completely ban international students, essentially trying to take away Harvard's ability to give out these international student visas. That ban, the block from the federal judge, put a hold on this and really sent everything to the courts in order to try and prolong this process. But the proclamation yesterday that President Trump gave out is actually a 6-month ban, specifically targeting new international students and their admission into Harvard. It's also going to give the Trump administration the ability to review the current legal status of students who are already there. And President Trump said he made this decision to protect the security of our country. He says security concerns were his main motivation here. Savannah and Joe.
Right. Maya, thank you.
Well, Nebraska is now the newest state to ban transgender students from competing in girls' sports, joining 24 states with similar bans. Governor Jim Pillen signed the measure into law Wednesday, joined by Republican lawmakers and supporters. It passed by a single vote last week after lawmakers dropped a proposal to also ban transgender students from certain bathrooms. Opponents call the law discriminatory, noting fewer than 10 transgender students have participated in school sports in Nebraska in the last decade.
On Thursday, police at New York City's JFK airport took a man into custody for his alleged connection to a car bombing last month in California. 4 people were injured outside a fertility clinic in Palm Springs. That man now facing charges for providing large amounts of chemicals to the bomber who was killed in the incident. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock has more.
Several weeks after a man detonated a bomb at this Southern California fertility clinic, killing himself and injuring 4 others in what the FBI called an act of terrorism, a second person is now behind bars. 32-year-old Daniel Park, detained at JFK Airport in New York and accused of providing material support to the bomber, Guy Edward Barkus.
Law enforcement learned that Park spent approximately 2 weeks visiting Barkus's residence, running experiments in Barkus's garage.
In the criminal complaint, the government says Park shipped approximately 275 pounds of ammonium nitrate, an explosive precursor used to make homemade bombs, to Barkus. And they say they recovered handwritten notes of chemical explosive equations, including one related to the deadly bombing of a federal building 30 years ago.
Park was in possession of an explosive recipe that was similar to the Oklahoma City bombing.
Both men, police say, held twisted anti-life ideology dating back about a decade, which may have connected them online.
They don't believe that people should exist.
Police also say Park bought a plane ticket to Poland in cash 4 days after the bombing and burned some of his clothing before being picked up by authorities in Warsaw and sent back to the U.S. to face prosecution.
Our thanks to Sam Brock for that report. Court documents say the bomber used an AI chat program to try and maximize the lethality of the bomb. Police say it is the second time this year a high-profile bombing has been linked to searches using publicly available AI.
Another round of severe weather hit the Midwest on Wednesday, bringing funnel clouds and flash flood warnings. This morning, the threat of strong storms with damaging hail is moving eastward. NBC News correspondent Shaquille Brewster has the latest from Missouri.
Another round of severe weather and at least one funnel cloud captured on camera threatening the Midwest.
A new tornado warning just issued.
Flash flood warnings and tornado sirens blaring in and around St. Louis. Grocery shoppers sheltering in place and trees toppled over. Less than 3 weeks after an EF3 tornado ripped through the city.
We're in the tornado! Oh!
Killing 5 people after the sirens weren't activated. St. Louis police warning structures damaged in that storm are not safe to seek shelter in. The new threat coming after a deadly night of storms further south. Dallas fire teams say a rescue boat flipped, throwing first responders into fast-moving waters as they tried to save a driver overnight.
Thankfully, even though they got swept downstream, they were able to make it to safe refuge.
After waiting for the water levels to recede, those responders found one man dead inside a vehicle. The flooding was part of a system that brought torrential downpours and 2 tornadoes to the Kansas City area. The National Weather Service assessing the trail of fallen trees in towns like Independence, Missouri.
I can say with confidence that we have at least one tornado path, damage path here through Independence.
How serious of a tornado?
It's at least a low NDF1.
This new video shows the funnel cloud approaching an engineering building that a tree hit as J.C. Mason was working inside.
It was crazy. When we heard that crash, it was big. It shook the building a little bit.
Hazy skies from Wisconsin and Michigan to New York City as smoke from more than 100 out-of-control Canadian wildfires billows into the U.S., resulting in a code red air quality alert for swaths of the northern Midwest.
All right, Shaq, thank you so much. The threat of dangerous storms not done yet.
Angie Lassman's monitoring another active day of weather for us. Hey, Angie, good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning to you. And it's not just today. It's the next couple of days that we have that chance of severe weather. We'll give you the breakdown here in a moment. But let's start with what we're dealing with right now. We've got multiple areas that are waking up to some rain and some thunderstorms. One of those spots stretching from the Tennessee Valley just north up into portions of Michigan. That's got some thunder and lightning associated with it. And similar story for northern Texas and parts of southern Oklahoma. Those are just a couple of spots along with parts of the southeast, specifically the Carolinas, that are dealing with a bit of wet weather this morning. As far as the severe weather goes, it's mainly going to be centered across parts of the southern plains later today. Really goes this afternoon into this evening from southern portions of Kansas, stretching down to southern portions of Texas. So we've got Oklahoma City and Amarillo right in the bullseye of that. It's the winds, it's the hail that we're going to mainly look for. But of course, a couple of tornadoes will be likely as well. Tomorrow, looking ahead to the end of your work week, we'll have kind of a larger area that has a risk for some severe weather. And we'll see this front kind of pop up some of those storms, mainly from anywhere from Oklahoma to Maine. But we're looking at supercells to be likely anywhere from Colorado to the Texas Panhandle. So that's where you'll see the strongest of those storms. A little bit of rain focused across parts of the Northeast as well. But this is the severe weather area for your Friday plans, especially if you're going to be outside anywhere from Nashville to Amarillo. Now, looking ahead to your Saturday, we get a big batch of moisture that's going to work across parts of the Northeast. That's where we'll see wet weather. We'll see some thunderstorms across parts of the southeast. And that's kind of the same general area that will have that severe risk for our Saturday as well. Big picture look of your temperatures. Boy, is it hot across the Northeast. These are the warmest temperatures of the year so far, and the warmest of the week will happen today. 93 degrees in Hartford, 90 degrees in New York City. We could see a couple of record highs across this region with upper 80s for Philadelphia as well. Tomorrow, not quite as warm for at least not as quite a large area, but still 84 degrees in New York City. We'll see those 70s across parts of Vermont. We've got the 80s for Pittsburgh. And then, guys, as we get into the weekend, we get back to normal, which is always a good thing. And I feel like I never get to say that. It's been either cooler than normal or warmer than normal. So
if you never get to say normal, then what is normal?
Exactly. Yes.
An
and that's on
existential
climate
question.
change.
Don't get me started.
Thank you, Angie.
You got it.
Much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, a celestial discovery that has got space enthusiasts starry-eyed. What researchers found and how it's challenging what we know about the universe.
Up first, though, developing overnight, Israel says it's recovered the bodies of 2 Israeli-American hostages in Gaza. The latest is next. Stay with us. Welcome back. Israel says it's recovered the bodies of 2 Israeli-American hostages from Gaza. The IDF says Judith Weinstein Hagee and her husband Gad Hagee were killed in the October 7th Hamas attack, and their bodies were taken to Gaza. The Hostage and Missing Families Forum welcomed their return and urged the Israeli government to reach a ceasefire agreement that would see the release of the remaining hostages. Meanwhile, Palestinians inside Gaza are facing another day without aid after the controversial Israel and U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation extended its closure of aid sites for a second day. They say they're carrying out repair work at the sites. The closure comes after Israeli forces again opened fire on aid seekers on Tuesday, killing 27 Palestinians, according to Gaza health officials.
In response to Ukraine's bold attacks inside Russia, President Vladimir Putin is casting doubt that a peace deal to end the war could be reached anytime soon. President Trump said yesterday that Putin told him Russia would retaliate for Ukraine's major drone attack on a Russian airbase over the weekend. In a post on Truth Social, Mr. Trump said his talk with Putin was a, quote, good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace.
This comes just days after a second round of peace talks between Ukraine and Russia in Istanbul. Both sides exchanged memorandums laying out their conditions for a ceasefire. However, a quick deal seems unlikely. Ukrainian President Zelensky dismissed Russia's proposal as an ultimatum and renewed calls for a face-to-face meeting with Putin.
NBC News Chief International Correspondent Keir Simmons joins us now with the very latest. Keir, good to have you with us. So tell us more. What came out of this call between Presidents Trump and Putin?
Well, we got readouts on both sides. Just to catch up on what you just were mentioning there, the Russians saying that out of that call, there is no expectation of a meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky. Whether there'll be a meeting between President Trump and President Putin, it was a nuanced and mixed readout, really, wasn't it, from President Trump himself, calling it a good call. But ultimately, you've got to conclude that after a number of calls with President Putin, and let's be honest, hours of conversations between the Trump administration and the Kremlin has not announced a ceasefire, despite the fact that President Trump said that it would be possible to get to a ceasefire within 24 hours during his election campaign. Of course, he's later said that he was kind of joking. Look, I think ultimately what we have is a bit of a stalemate. And at the same time, President Trump indicating that he is not giving up on his relationship with President Putin. For example, both sides say they talked about the Iranian nuclear negotiations. Iran, of course, as well as Russia, China and North Korea are described by many as a kind of axis of resistance.
Keir, despite Monday's peace talks, a ceasefire couldn't seem further as both sides continue to fight. What's the latest on the ground this morning, and what are the hard line issues keeping both sides divided here when it comes to a ceasefire?
Well, the fact, really, one of the issues is the fact that both sides truly believe that with force they can force the other to capitulate, or in the Ukrainian case, just simply to get the Russians to compromise in some way. I mean, all of the conversation is still about those drone attacks on those Russian bombers. The Ukrainians releasing now a more than 4-minute video that shows more of the targeting, including targeting an A-50 Russian spy plane. You don't see the spy plane on fire. So there's then, as well as the war, there's a propaganda battle over exactly what that drone strike achieved. Top Ukrainian officials this morning are saying that 41 Russian aircraft were destroyed or damaged. The Russians are saying all the planes can be repaired, which is clearly not true based on the images. One interesting note, though, Savannah, the political site Axios, citing sources who discussed it with him, say President Trump called those Ukrainian drone strikes badass and strong, but is concerned it will make a ceasefire harder.
All right. I think we're allowed to say that on morning TV if we're quoting the president. Keir, one more thing I want to ask you about while we have you here. We are learning of just an astounding milestone for military casualties in this years-long war. There's a report from the Washington-based Center for Strategic and International Studies. It says the Russian military is likely going to surpass 1 million casualties in its war with Ukraine this summer. Tell us more about this report's findings and just what this means and says about the war.
Yeah, it also says it estimates 400,000 Ukrainian soldiers killed. It is an extraordinary number. The casualties that the Russians suffered in Afghanistan, for example, which was politically huge for Russia. It shifted domestic politics there, far, far smaller than those numbers. And yet we still see the Russians managing to have voluntary recruits up to the numbers that they have set. And even a recent report that said, you remember those North Korean troops that have gone to fight with the Russians, that actually North Korea asked to do it. Putin didn't ask for it. So honestly, we said it yesterday, didn't we? This war shows no sign of ending.
All right. Keir Simmons, thank you.
Coming up, a black market crackdown. Authorities raiding illegal pot shops, even in states where marijuana is legal. Why some say the problem's only gotten bigger.
And a devastating diagnosis for pop sensation Jessie J. Her message to fans and why some say her story could help save lives. This is Morning News Now. We are back with a look at some major cities across the U.S. battling the rise of illegal marijuana shops, even in states where recreational pot is legal. A massive black market industry has exploded in size, selling weed from storefronts. And authorities say many of those shops are run by organized crime groups. NBC News correspondent Steve Patterson tagged along with law enforcement agents in California as they raided multiple stores.
This is the tip of the spear.
Please, search wide! We know you're inside. Come out with your hands up.
An early morning raid with overwhelming force aimed at a problem hidden in plain sight. illicit cannabis.
Moving out.
We've already seen multiple people pulled out of the store. Another detention just made just now. These are employees, we believe, that are being detained. There could be patrons inside.
In a matter of moments, this storefront that authorities say has been operating illegally swarmed.
They've made entry. You can see agents inside. They're sorting through all the material. You can smell it. It's one of the first things you notice on scene.
And inside, agents hit it big. Nearly $1.5 million worth of illegal product, according to law enforcement.
So what do you have here?
This could be several thousands of vials of vape pens. A lot of those vape pens are manufactured illegally, and the quality control is very harmful to the health of people that consume these items.
This isn't the first time officers say they've raided this exact location.
We're just steps away from where they just raided, and we saw this, another cross. They told us this was another location that was raided. It speaks to how pervasive this is.
This is a normal thing. The weed guys, they all get raided.
Scott McCauley leases 4 units in this complex. He says the raids here are like clockwork, every 4 to 6 weeks for the last 2 years.
How frustrating is that?
It's always frustrating. It's whack-a-mole. Every time they get a place to get in, they get pushed out, and then they go find another place.
NBC News spoke to the property manager of the complex, who said they took over in February of 2024 and says they've already kicked out several illegally operating cannabis stores. They say this tenant claimed to be selling gold, and when they found out it was an illegal operation, they initiated eviction orders.
You see the numbers?
Recreational cannabis is booming, worth billions of dollars in California alone. But the legal sales are dwarfed by the underground. 2 out of every 3 cannabis purchases are made on the illicit market, according to experts. It's a problem several other states across the country are grappling with, including New York, where officials launched an operation that shuttered 1,400 illegal cannabis businesses over the past year.
I think a lot of people might see this and think, who cares where my weed comes from?
Well, I'll tell you why you care. Because this isn't ran by, a mom and pop. This is ran by a criminal organization.
The items officers find inside, including this handgun stashed behind a toilet, will now be processed and used to further even more investigations.
We're now on our way to a second location. We hear it's nondescript. First time they're hitting this one. Same protocols, but obviously a different situation.
This is the Fullerton Police Department. Come out with your hands up.
Another detention happening right here. Check this out. Police doing this very carefully. Safety is a primary concern.
The agents here will be the first to admit their actions often serve little more than a thorn in the side. Any cannabis-related arrests they make typically amount to low-level misdemeanors. But they say it's still having an impact on sales and driving the illegal market further underground.
This is what we see now, the nondescript. Unless you had word of mouth or you got a message, you would not know that this place is a dispensary.
At this unmarked location, not even the building's owner says he knew it was happening.
So the guy behind me that just showed up covering his face, that's the landlord. He's speaking to the city. He was told it was a vitamin shop. When he found out it was illegal, he started the eviction process.
The raids, a constant churn, chipping away at the monolith of organized crime, one detention, one confiscation, 1 gallon bag at a time.
You think this will get better?
It will get better, and it has gotten better, but it's still a long uphill fight that we have in front of us.
Steve Patterson, NBC News.
Well, this morning, global pop superstar Jessie J is making headlines after opening up about her diagnosis with breast cancer. The singer announced on social media that she will undergo surgery later this summer. Some doctors say when celebrities share medical stories like this one, it can potentially save lives. NBC correspondent Kathy Park has the details.
Singer-songwriter Jessie J, known for her powerful vocals and distinctive style, is putting her health in the spotlight.
I was diagnosed with early breast cancer. I'm highlighting the word early. Cancer sucks in any form, but I'm holding on to the word early.
The 37-year-old who built a following with catchy songs and hits with stars like Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj, using her platform to bring awareness to breast cancer, which roughly 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with in their lifetime.
I'm an open book. It breaks my heart that so many people are going through so much. Similar and worse. That's the bit that kills me.
Jessie J joining other public figures like Tina Knowles and Olivia Munn, who have shared similar diagnoses and advocated for early detection. A 2020 study showing there is a direct link between media coverage of celebrities with breast cancer and a spike in searches for mammograms or other breast examinations.
maybe it makes someone else think, well, I did feel this mass. Maybe I should go get it checked out sooner rather than later.
What is the recommended age for women to begin these screenings?
Yeah, so that's certainly an area of controversy, but in general, we recommend that the majority of average risk women start at the age of 40 with screening mammography. Sometimes we even start at the age of 25 for women who have certain genetic mutations.
Stars like Leona Lewis, Katy Perry, and Glee's Amber Riley rallying behind the singer with heartfelt comments. Rita Ora writing in part, "I'm praying for you. You've got this."
If we can find the cancer at a smaller size, at an earlier stage, when it's not in the lymph nodes, the survival is definitely better.
The Grammy-nominated singer announcing plans to undergo surgery after her performance next weekend in London, showing her strength in the face of a new challenge with a touch of that cheeky Jessie J humor that her fans know and love.
It's a very dramatic way to get a boob job. I am going to disappear for a bit after Summertime Ball to have my surgery. And I will come back with massive and more music.
Kathy Park, NBC News.
We wish her the best. All right. Coming up, countdown to tip-off. That's right, the stage is set for Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
So will Indiana set the pace, or will OKC bring the thunder? More on the battle for a historic championship next on Morning News Now.
We're back now with your business headlines.
Auto giant Volvo is coming out with a groundbreaking new seatbelt. CNBC's Savannah Hanau has that and other details. Hey, Savannah, morning.
Hey, Savannah. Hey, Joe. Good morning to you. Yeah, so Volvo has introduced new seatbelt technology that can offer customized protection in real time. So this multi-adaptive system uses data from interior and exterior sensors, taking a person's height, weight, body shape, and seating position into account, as well as the speed and direction of the vehicle. So Volvo used information collected from decades of safety research and a database of thousands of people involved in real-life accidents to design this new seatbelt. ChatGPT can now read your Google Drive and Dropbox files to answer questions about a user's stored spreadsheets and documents. So for example, you could ask questions like, what was my company's revenue in the first quarter last year? ChatGPT has also added a record mode, and that feature is to take notes on meetings. And this is part of OpenAI's push to capture more business AI customers who are big spenders. And Americans are planning to spend a lot of money on dear old dad this year. The National Retail Federation is predicting Father's Day spending will hit a record $24 billion. That's an average of $200 per person, up more than $10 from last year. Online shopping is the most popular method to buy a gift, and subscription boxes are one of the most popular options, guys.
Oh.
Here's your reminder. You got a little more than a week left.
That's also a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Subscription box or something.
Why
yeah.
not?
Thank you.
You got it.
All right, get ready, basketball fans. The NBA Finals are here. It's a matchup maybe a few people saw coming. The Indiana Pacers will take on the Oklahoma City Thunder for the throne as NBA champs.
Game 1 will tip off tonight, with each team looking to take home a historic win for their franchise. The Thunder come into the series as heavy favorites, with the youngest finals team in 50 years. The Pacers, though, they're making their first finals appearance in 25 years.
We have the host of Front Office Sports Today, Baker Machado, joining us here for a preview of the series. So as much as it pained me, you did predict the Thunder would beat my Minnesota Timberwolves. You were probably not alone in that, and they looked pretty good. I mean, the Thunder, they've been a force all year. Talk about why that is. Do the Pacers have... Would this be an upset? Would the Pacers have a chance to
I think you said earlier, do they have the pace to keep up
Yeah,
for all of
there you
this?
go.
Yeah, this is interesting. As you mentioned, Oklahoma City, one of the youngest teams, but also one of the best teams. 68 wins out of 82 regular season games this last year. Oklahoma City, except for one series against Denver, basically cruised throughout the entire playoffs. Most New Yorkers, by the way, know a little bit about the Pacers, so we think this is going to be a really, really good series. And we should note, Indiana has not been favored in any playoff series except for the beginning series. They had the largest odds to win the entire thing, 85-1 odds to win the title before the playoffs. That is the largest odds in DraftKings history. So this is going to be an amazing matchup between these two teams.
Okay, so I want to talk about one particular player, a Thunder player, regular season MVP, it seems. That's right.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, yes, exactly.
SGA, I hear, as
yes.
they're calling him. And now he's kind of on the world stage, going to get more attention. What should we know about him?
Absolutely. I mean, look, he has crushed it this playoffs. I mean, he's averaging over 30 points a game. In 11 of the 16 games so far in the playoffs, SGA has over 30 points per game. And Oklahoma City is incredibly deep, one of the deepest teams in the playoffs. And they've got not just SGA, but they've got Chet Holmgren, who's averaging close to 20 points per game. You got Jalen Williams, who has been one of the most incredible players for them, in addition to SGA, and a really, really deep bench. But if there's one team that is completely comparable to them, it's the Indiana Pacers, led by Tyrese Halliburton, who a lot of us here in New York very familiar with, who is incredibly amazing. Yes, that is the perfect look that we're looking for Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton's averaging close to 20 points per game as well, and they've had an amazing performance from other guys like Pascal Siakam and Andrew Nebhart as well. So both of these teams are very comparable. Now, Oklahoma City is incredibly favored here. Most of the odds here look to Oklahoma City to win in at least maybe 4, maybe 5 games. But as we saw with the New York Knicks and a bunch of other series, if the Pacers can win at least one of the games, this could be a really good matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you don't live in Indiana or you don't live in Oklahoma, all you want is like a 7-game series here. Is that a possibility?
It is. Yeah, absolutely. Look, Indiana has defied all odds so far this postseason. Again, Indiana was the 5th seed going into the playoffs, so nobody expected them to make it this far. So yes, if there's one team that can compete with the Oklahoma City Thunder and maybe give them a run for their money, it likely could be the Indiana Pacers.
All right, Baker Machado, great to see you. Exciting. Thank you.
All right, coming up, an out-of-this-world discovery. Researchers searching for a new planet end up finding something else instead.
More on what they found and how it's challenging what we thought we know about the universe. This is Morning News Now. We are back now with exciting new details about a new cosmic discovery in our solar system. A team at Princeton University was on the hunt for the elusive Planet 9. That's a hypothetical planet larger than Earth that some astronomers believe exists beyond Neptune's orbit.
Well, instead, they found a different celestial anomaly at the very edge of our solar system that defies what astronomers thought they knew about stars.
We have Dr. Paul Sutter. He's a NASA advisor, astrophysicist, author of How to Die in Space, A Journey Through Dangerous Astrophysical Phenomena. He's with us to explain what this all means. Doctor, great to have you with us. Good morning. Okay, so scientists think they found a massive planet orbiting a small star. Explain that. Why is that a big deal? How big of a discovery is this?
Yeah, this is a very, very interesting discovery because so far of all the stars and planets we've mapped in the galaxy, small stars tend to have small planets, medium stars have medium planets, and big stars have big planets. But now we have a small star with a big planet, and this is challenging us to explain of how such a large planet could form around such a small star. And we're very interested in these kinds of questions because we're very interested in how planets like the Earth forms, how solar systems like our own solar system forms, how life appears in the solar system and in the galaxy. And all this is tied together. And by piecing together all of these different threads and all of these interesting edge cases gives us a complete picture of that story.
So as we mentioned, I mean, this was found during a project to locate that elusive Planet 9. Now, many astronomers are split on whether Planet 9 actually exists. What's your theory? What's your take on Planet 9? And does this discovery impact the possibility of its existence?
Yeah, to me, as a scientist, we have to go by the evidence. And right now, the evidence for the existence of a new planet out beyond the orbit of Neptune, beyond the orbit of Pluto, a very large planet, is relatively slim and very circumstantial. We do not have solid evidence yet. As the years go by, it doesn't seem likely that's a planet out there. But once again, we're talking about a region of the solar system that is relatively unexplored. These are vast distances. These planets have orbits that last for tens of thousands of years. We're really pushing the limits of our capabilities to even search in this region, the distant reaches of our own backyard. But understanding that helps us understand what happens on the inside of the solar system.
Another part of this project, this is kind of crazy sounding to people who are not space people, or like we love space stuff, but we don't know things. Searching for evidence of dark energy. We understand this to be this enormous, powerful force that takes up nearly 70% of the universe. It was always thought to be a constant, but a couple months ago, scientists revealed new data that suggests that the force might be waning. Okay, decode all of that. What is dark energy? Is it like scary and bad like it sounds? What does it mean that it's waning?
Oh, I have to admit, it is a fantastic name. It's got great branding here, but really it's an unknown in the universe. So we've known for 100 years that our universe is getting bigger with time. We live in an expanding universe. But we recently discovered that the expansion is accelerating. The universe is getting bigger and bigger, faster and faster every single day. And we call this effect dark energy. We don't know what's causing it. We don't know what's powering it. We don't know if it's changing with time. We know it's there, though. And recently, this latest observation indicates just a slight shred of evidence that maybe dark energy is getting a little weaker with time. This is really big for people who are into this, because we're trying to determine the ultimate fate of the universe. We are trying to determine what is going to happen in the long term of the universe and what our universe is fundamentally made of. And looking for these tiny little changes helps us understand what the universe is made of.
I know plenty of people with dark energy. Their energy's not waning.
Yes.
It seems to only be getting stronger. So,
Dr. Paul Sutter, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It was a fascinating conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now.
Stay with us, though. The news continues right now. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Savannah Sellers.
I'm Joe Fryer. Right now on Morning News Now, the travel ban is back. President Trump signing a new proclamation banning nationals from a dozen countries, mainly in Africa and the Middle East, from entering the United States. Several other countries placed under partial restrictions, including Venezuela and Cuba. The president citing security threats for the move, but will this new order face the same legal troubles as the ban imposed during his first administration? We're going to bring you the latest from Washington. New this morning, Ukraine and Russia continue to trade fire, with 5 people in a Ukrainian city killed overnight in a Russian drone strike. That attack coming just hours after President Trump spoke with Russia's president, Putin vowing to retaliate after Ukraine's drone attack on a Russian airbase. Also this morning, a silent killer. New research shows millions of Americans have high blood pressure and don't even know it. We'll tell you who could be impacted and what we can all do to stay on top of it. And is it a tipping point? There's that old school jar on the counter or those gratuity touch screens. A new survey reveals more and more Americans think that tipping culture is getting out of hand. We'll tip you off on what people are saying and give you some do's and don'ts later this hour, when you have that peer pressure of the screen turned toward you and it asks you if you should tip.
I hate it. And you're like, oh, do you know what I tipped or didn't?
I just put no now, for the most part. All right. Let's begin this morning with President Trump announcing a major new curb on who can enter the U.S. In a move reminiscent of the travel ban from his first term, the president signed a proclamation yesterday. It targets 19 countries for either a full or partial ban on entry to the United States. He cited national security and terrorism concerns, claiming the ban was to, quote, protect Americans from dangerous foreign actors.
It comes as the president's facing criticism from one of his closest former allies. The White House is weighing a response here after Elon Musk launched a crusade against Trump's signature spending and tax cut package on social media. Yesterday, Musk urged Americans to campaign against the bill. Look at your screen. This is something that he tweeted. NBC News chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander is following all of this for us. Peter, good morning.
Good morning to you. This is a crucial week for President Trump's signature budget proposal, that so-called big, beautiful bill that's now run into the buzzsaw that is Elon Musk. The president has yet to comment on that criticism. Instead, overnight, looking to change the topic here, taking up a popular conservative issue and expanding that highly controversial travel ban. Overnight, President Trump issuing a sweeping new travel ban, barring people from a dozen countries, primarily in Africa and the Middle East, from entering the U.S.
We will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm.
The president citing national security threats, including this week's terror attack in Boulder, Colorado.
By the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them.
In his first term, the president barred travel from several Muslim-majority countries, but those bans faced a series of legal setbacks. And it's one of a flurry of executive actions President Trump took last night, including a new broad investigation into his one-time political rival, former President Biden. Democrats call it a distraction from new criticism to President Trump's signature budget bill.
But it is chiefly in service of trying to get us all talking about that, or talking about the Biden investigation they launched today, or instead of talking about the centerpiece of this story, which is this bill.
President Trump ordering his administration to investigate whether Biden's aides, quote, conspired to deceive the public about the former president's mental state, and to look into Biden's alleged use of an auto pen to sign documents. But President Trump is now using the issue to open a broader, sweeping investigation, ordering the government to look into many of Biden's actions, including appointments and pardons, arguing they are not valid. There is no evidence that Biden used an auto pen to sign the specific documents President Trump outlines, and the auto pen is common in Washington and legal for the president to use. Earlier this year, President Trump saying he has occasionally used one himself.
Only for very unimportant papers.
Former President Biden saying in a statement overnight, "Let me be clear, I made the decisions during my presidency. I made the decisions about the pardons, executive orders, legislation, and proclamations. Any suggestion that I didn't is ridiculous and false." To this day, former President Biden and his allies argue that he was fit to serve. And about President Trump's complaint about Biden's use of the auto pen, Biden is dismissing that as, quote, nothing more than a distraction by Donald Trump and congressional Republicans. But back to that topic at hand, the issue of the criticism from Elon Musk. Musk is now ratcheting up his campaign against the president's top legislative priority on back-to-back days now, teeing off on President Trump's big, beautiful bill, writing, "Call your senators, call your congressmen," punctuating it in all caps with "kill the bill." Back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you.
Ukraine and Russia continue to trade fire this morning, despite recent efforts to try and reach a peace deal. Ukrainian officials say at least 5 people were killed, including a 1-year-old and his grandmother, in a Russian drone strike on northern Ukraine overnight. This attack comes just hours after President Trump said he spoke with Russia's president. Putin vowed to retaliate following Ukraine's drone attack on a Russian airbase over the weekend. Mr. Trump said it was, quote, a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. NBC News chief international correspondent Keir Simmons joins us with the latest on this. Keir, good morning.
Joe, good morning. This morning, the political site Axios, citing sources who discussed it with him, say President Trump called those Ukrainian drone strikes badass and strong, but is concerned it will make a ceasefire harder. The war continues, and so does the propaganda battle, with Ukraine releasing more details of its attack on those Russian bombers, while Russia claiming, clearly falsely from the images, that all the planes can be repaired. President Trump and President Putin offering their first public reaction as new video emerges of Ukraine's drone attack that devastated some of Russia's deadly long-range bomber fleet. The more than 4 minutes of footage released by the Ukrainian security service shows additional Russian aircraft targeted, including what appears to be an A-50 spy plane. After an hour and 15-minute phone call between the two men, Trump saying Putin told him, quote, very strongly, Russia will have to respond. Moscow has launched an onslaught of air attacks in recent weeks. This latest video, the aftermath of a Russian drone and missile attack on Kharkiv in just the last 24 hours. Trump did not say whether he tried to persuade Putin against another deadly offensive. Despite close to 1 million Russian military casualties, 400,000 Ukrainian soldiers, according to a new report, and President Trump's long-standing conviction that Putin was ready to end the war.
I believe Putin wants to do it. And if I thought that President Putin did not want to get this over with, I wouldn't even be talking about it.
Trump said his call with the Russian leader was not a conversation that will immediately lead to peace. That impasse did not prevent them from discussing cooperation on other issues, like Iran nuclear negotiations. Iran's close relations with Russia, along with China and North Korea, has been dubbed an axis of resistance. President Zelensky warning Putin feels impunity and that Russia is, quote,
giving the finger to the entire world.
We just have to pressure on him, and maybe we will get peace.
President Zelensky handing out medals. His message, Ukraine can keep fighting.
Back to that drone strike, Joe. Top Ukrainian officials insist this morning that 41 Russian aircraft were destroyed or damaged. So far, visual evidence is not available to confirm that number. The Russian spy plane you saw there, Joe, for example, in the footage, you don't actually see it set on fire. But, Joe, in other footage, Ukraine targets Russian planes loaded with bombs, Joe.
All right. Here, thank you so much. For more on this, let's bring in Ambassador Bill Taylor. He is the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. Always good to have you with us, Ambassador. Just what was your initial reaction to this conversation between Presidents Putin and Trump? I mean, was the Russian leader, do you think, playing the victim here, as some are suggesting?
Joe, the Russian leader is playing President Trump. He is dragging this out. President Putin wants to continue this fight, continue this war, continue these attacks on Ukraine, wants to continue his effort to take over Ukraine and destroy it. And so this is not serious in terms of the Russian attempt to have these conversations. And in the conversation, apparently, I don't know what President Trump asked President Putin, but he said that Putin is not ready to stop this war.
Ambassador, Ukrainian President Zelensky said yesterday that he is open to these direct talks with Putin. We know that he's been saying that quite a bit, actually, but he will not accept their current terms for a ceasefire. Are negotiations now stuck? Is there a realistic path forward? Do you see any chance of Putin actually physically showing up at the negotiating table?
Savannah, only if there's pressure on Putin. Only if President Trump and the Europeans put serious economic and military pressure on Putin to make him stop the war. The Ukrainians have done their part. The Ukrainians have demonstrated that they've got cards, that they've got capabilities, that they can go deep into Russia and attack Russian airplanes and Russian air bases. So the Ukrainians are showing they're going to continue to fight until President Putin realizes he cannot win. And for that to happen, the economic pressure and the military supplies for Ukraine need to keep coming.
Ambassador, we have to ask you about what we've seen in the last few days with Ukraine pulling off this ambitious Operation Spiderweb drone strike, as well as the strike on the Crimea bridge. Is this a turning point in the war? Is this some sort of change?
Joe, it's not clear it's a turning point. It is clear that the Ukrainians have capabilities both to go after that bridge, but even more important, to go very deep into Russia, thousands of miles into Siberia, into Murmansk, that the Ukrainians can go after Russian military targets. By the way, Russian military targets. We see the Russians going after civilian targets. The Ukrainians go after Russian military targets, and they can go deep. That's a strong indication that they've got capabilities.
Ambassador Bill Taylor, as always, appreciate your time and expertise.
Well, in Colorado, the suspect in that Boulder terror attack will be in court later today. It comes after a federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration's attempt to deport his family. NBC News correspondent Morgan Chesky joins us with the latest on this. Hey, Morgan, good morning.
Yeah, Savannah, good morning. And Mohammed Solomon due back in court this afternoon. This is when he's going to be formally charged, and that includes 15 counts of attempted murder. And this is coming as we're getting new video showing Solomon prior to Sunday's horrific attack right here in this Boulder Plaza. And we do want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is disturbing. Colorado terror attack suspect Mohammed Solomon is due back in court today, with prosecutors expected to file more than 60 charges against him, following Sunday's horrific attack on a rally calling for the return of Israeli hostages.
Our focus is entirely on the defendant, so that he could be held fully responsible.
This is a federal judge in Denver has temporarily blocked the Trump administration from deporting Solomon's wife and 5 children.
They've done absolutely nothing wrong.
Attorney Eric Lee represents Solomon's family. Since being detained by ICE here in Colorado, what's happened with his family?
They found themselves in the middle of the night being whisked away out of their home state to a detention center hundreds of miles away in Texas. An administration that's willing to put a family in that type of a situation is willing to do anything.
New video shared on a pro-Hamas Telegram channel has now surfaced, appearing to show Solomon using threatening language towards Americans. The video was recorded before the attack, where police say he used a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails to injure at least 15 people.
I look to my side and I see this big ball of flames that was engulfing people.
In the chaos of the attack, Nayor Bitten rushed to help the victims.
I feel extremely grateful for being in the right place at the right time. And I am extremely sad for the Jewish Boulder community that they had to go through this.
And this morning, at least 3 of those victims remain hospitalized, recovering from those injuries. In the meantime, following today's court date, Solomon due back in court next Friday. He faces up to 700 years on the state charges, life in prison on the federal charges. And Savannah, the FBI tells me that since the initial search of his home on Sunday, they have executed additional search warrants as this investigation continues. Savannah?
Morgan, thank you very much.
That is some breaking news out of Pennsylvania. Several buses went up in flames this morning at a maintenance facility in Philadelphia. The fire broke out at Public Transportation Authority SEPTA's Midvale Depot in Nicetown. It's a site known as a bus graveyard where out-of-service vehicles are stored. As you can see here, heavy black smoke poured into the sky while firefighters work to get those flames under control. No injuries have been reported. The cause is still under investigation. We're following new turmoil out of Newark Liberty International Airport this morning.
Ongoing staffing issues triggered a new ground stop there last night. NBC News correspondent Tom Costello, of course, he covers aviation. I don't think we need to say that anymore. Everybody knows. He joins us now. He's here on set. Tom, it's great to have you live with us in studio. What is the latest here?
Well, this was a ground stop affecting the TRACON. Again, that's the Terminal Radar Control, and that's actually in Philly, which handles Newark airspace.
Okay.
Confusing, but that's the problem. And this is the same facility. They've had a shortage of staff, of air traffic controllers. And that's what the problem was yesterday. In fact, we had 106 total delays yesterday, only a handful of cancellations. The maximum delay ran about 90 minutes or so. The problem at the TRACON, at the radar facility, is that they are down. They only have 22 controllers, but 6 of them have now taken medical leave because of the stress of losing radars and radios, right? So now you've only got 16 controllers, and if somebody is sick, if somebody is taking a vacation day, that complicates everything. And keep in mind, these controllers are already working mandatory overtime, 10-hour days, 6 days a week. The stress levels are off the charts. And you cannot simply take a controller from Seattle and put him or her into Newark airspace because it is so complicated. It takes roughly 18 months to be certified for that airspace. So as a result, they're working to hire up, to train more controllers. They're working to bring more on, but it is a very long process. You guys, the washout rate, as we've talked about before, the washout rate in the academy is 35%. Another 20% quit when they're on the job.
Wow.
Would you be taking a job that's mandatory 10-hour days, 6 days a week? Yeah, it's $160,000 after 3 years, but you're going to work nights, overtime, holidays. It's a real and very stressful.
And as you've been noting, I mean, there's no quick fix here. No. Is there any fix here? I mean, this is, you know.
So a quick fix to the staffing? No. I mentioned that there are 16 controllers now out of 22 that are working. Hopefully, those 6 that are on stress leave, medical leave, will be coming back over the next few weeks and months. And they're in the process of training more, and they will incrementally come on, right? You're not starting from zero. Some have already been in the pipeline. But they're hoping that by October, they're getting to better staffing levels, not perfect staffing levels. And oh, by the way, that runway that was out of commission that they brought back on Tuesday, that's only for departures, not yet for arrivals. Arrivals will be next week. This is complicated, right? I mean, I could keep talking about all of the issues affecting Newark. It is going to be a rough summer. They say it's going to get better this summer if you're traveling, and United's offering what they say are the best deals ever to fly out of Newark this summer. If you want to go on vacation, United. I got to tell you, I just booked a flight. I just booked a flight because my wife is European. Just booked a flight to Europe, not out of Newark, but nonetheless, it was the cheapest I have seen in a long time.
Yeah, the flights to go international right now are pretty good deals.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Just think about those 6 on stress leave, though. It's not helping them out, though. We're talking about them, too. And I mean, it's just, God, it's got to be really tough in there. Tom, thank you very much. Important information. Well, prosecutors in the criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs are set to introduce another key witness today. It's a woman who, according to the indictment, says she faced abuse and was coerced into taking part in sex acts at the hands of the music mogul. NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk is outside federal court. That's down in Lower Manhattan. Hey, Steph, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. Federal prosecutors are trying to prove that the hip-hop tycoon used his power and influence to conceal sex crimes and violence for decades. So far, there has been a string of witnesses who have accused Combs of shocking behavior. And today we're told by prosecutors that a second victim is going to take the stand and reveal even more.
This morning, day 17 gets underway in Sean Combs' sex trafficking trial. Graphic accusations of violence and drug-fueled sex parties have dominated the testimony, with the jury hearing from former assistants, girlfriends, and even Grammy-winning rapper Kid Cudi, who accused Combs of firebombing his Porsche in 2012. Combs denied it and was never charged with the crime. On Wednesday, Brianna Bongolan, a close friend of Combs' ex, Cassie Ventura, testifying he threatened to throw her off of Ventura's 17th floor balcony. "I was scared to fall," she told jurors, adding, "He was yelling at me. He kept repeating, 'You know what the F you did.'" But she said she had no idea what he was talking about.
It furthered this narrative that there was a pattern of intimidation, of attempting to suppress information, bad things from coming out, which all could be used to establish racketeering activity.
But the cross-examination was tough, led by defense attorney Nicole Westmoreland, who focused on Bongolan's drug use. Her first question, who gets to decide if you lied? Earlier in the week, a former Combs assistant, using the pseudonym Mia, also said she was assaulted by him. Mia telling jurors he was responsible for years of emotional and sexual abuse. The defense questioning why it took her so long to come forward. She answered, "I was terrified and brainwashed." But prosecutors aren't just relying on witness testimony. This now infamous video of Combs punching and kicking Ventura in the hallway of an LA hotel has been shown to the jury on 4 separate days of the trial. The defense questioning its authenticity, arguing it was manipulated to make Combs look violent. Earlier this week, a former security guard who worked at the hotel testified that Combs offered him money for the video the day after the 2016 incident. Eddie Garcia says he gave the footage to Combs, signed a non-disclosure agreement, and in exchange, Combs gave him a brown paper bag filled with $100,000 in cash.
The second victim will be testifying under the pseudonym Jane. Prosecutors say she's going to tell a story of how she was coerced into these days-long drug-fueled sex parties that Combs calls freak-offs. She also will tell a story, they say, of how she was assaulted by Combs, thrown into a headlock, and dragged across the floor, Savannah.
Oh, all right, Stephanie Gosk, thank you very much.
This morning, more severe storms are threatening the southern plains.
Angie Lastman's tracking that trouble for us. Hey, Angie, good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. I feel like a broken record because, yes, again, we have another chance to see some of those strong storms later today and into the evening hours. This morning, already kind of active in some spots, specifically Michigan, stretching back to parts of Kentucky and Tennessee, where we've had some of these showers and even thunderstorms. Similar story across parts of the plains, specifically northern Texas, where we have a couple of thunderstorms, and then a bit of rain centered across parts of the Carolinas from a low that we've been watching over the past couple of days. But when it comes to this afternoon, when it comes to those stronger storms, that's for the plains, specifically the southern plains. So we've got Oklahoma City, Amarillo, Wichita Falls, all with the potential to see some strong storms. Hail going to be that main threat, but we can't rule out some tornadoes as well as strong wind gusts too. The system's on the move for tomorrow, and that means anywhere from Maine to Oklahoma could see thunderstorms, but the strongest of those likely to be from Colorado to the Texas Panhandle. That's specifically where we're going to watch for some of those stronger storms, those supercells. But really the severe storms can extend as far east as Nashville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City included in that as well. That's how we round out our work week. Then we head into our weekend essentially with more of the same. We've got a bit of rain that'll work across the Northeast, so you'll need your umbrella for your Saturday plans if you live in that region. And then we've got some more of these afternoon storms that are going to fire up across specifically the Southeast. So Dallas, Huntsville, Charlotte, Atlanta, all included in that as we get into your Saturday. And speaking of summer-like conditions, boy, it feels like July out there across the Northeast. We've got the warmest air of the year so far settled in, and today will be the warmest day of this past week. So a couple of records possible. New York City expected to hit 90 degrees. find a sprinkler, find a pool, I don't know, something to cool down. We've got 86 on tap for Boston. It doesn't last at this level, at least. We still have quite warm temperatures for tomorrow, mid-80s for New York and Washington, D.C., as well as Charleston. But notice what happens by the time the weekend rolls around. We're back to those more typical temperatures by Saturday and Sunday, low 80s from Paducah to Pikeville to Washington, D.C. And then we see a bit of a warm up by the time we get back into our next work week, guys. 87 in D.C. on Monday.
You said find a sprinkler, and I'm now realizing how hard that is in New York.
I say it from my personal experience.
Someone's watering the pavement.
Right. Well, you know, sometimes there's a fire hydrant.
That's what we used to do. There you go.
This is New York City, after all.
You see Angie last minute.
Neither does he here. Yeah.
Going
no
for
photos.
a fire hydrant in New York.
No photos.
All right. You've been warned.
There's much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, why more Americans say tipping culture is getting out of hand. We'll break down the results of a new survey.
Up first, the bodies of 2 Israeli-American hostages from Gaza have now been recovered. The latest ahead on the ongoing conflict in the Middle East.
Welcome back. Israel says it's recovered the bodies of 2 Israeli-American hostages from Gaza. The IDF says Judith Weinstein Hagee and her husband Gad Hagee were killed in the October 7th Hamas attack, and their bodies were taken to Gaza.
Meanwhile, Palestinians inside Gaza are facing another day of the threat of starvation. That's because the controversial Israel and U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation extended its closure of aid sites for a second day. This closure comes after Israeli forces again opened fire on aid seekers on Tuesday, killing 27 Palestinians, according to local health officials.
NBC News International correspondent Molly Hunter is with us now. Molly, tell us first about these hostages that were recovered in Gaza, how they were found, and any broader reaction in Israel.
Yeah, Savannah, Joe, good morning. So the Israeli military put out a statement overnight. It was a joint operation between the military, between the intelligence directorate, and it was really an intelligence-led operation. This statement said that they were both murdered in kibbutz near Oz, that is where they lived, and then their bodies were taken into Gaza. The rescue operation, it said, was conducted by the IDF in coordination with the intelligence directorate and special forces. Their bodies were found in Khan Yunis, that is the south of the Gaza Strip, and brought back to Israel for forensic identification. And you guys, there was also a big statement from the Hostage Family Forum that said the return of Judy and God is painful and heartbreaking, yet it also brings healing to our uncertainty, and they will get a proper burial inside Israel, you guys.
Molly, we mentioned that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has extended the closure of aid distribution sites again today. This is in the wake of recent killings of Palestinians by Israeli forces. Tell us more about why this is, and just what has been the global reaction to what has been chaotic, deadly scenes over the last few days.
Yeah, chaotic, deadly scenes for sure in the last, since the beginning of this aid distribution at the beginning of the week, Joe. And actually, I have an update for you. Just in the last 15 minutes, as you guys were on the air, went to air, we've just learned from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation that actually they have opened up another site this afternoon. So we do understand that there is an open site, at least one this afternoon. Their statement, and this was a statement in Arabic posted on Facebook, meant for Palestinians who are looking and trying to figure out where they can go for aid. It says they will be opening 2 distribution centers today. The first is in the Tal al-Sultan area, known as the Swedish Village in Gaza, and the second is in a new location in the Saudi neighborhood, it says. As you mentioned, Joe, though, Israel has received intense international criticism. Take a listen to UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer after this week's deadly shootings.
Israel's recent action is appalling and, in my view, counterproductive and intolerable, and we have strongly opposed the expansion of military operations and settler violence and the blocking of humanitarian aid. We desperately need more aid at speed and at volume into Gaza because it's an appalling and intolerable situation.
Now, that is the consensus of almost all of the U.S.'s European allies. Israel says they are investigating the incidents earlier this week. But you guys, given that these aid distribution centers are now open, we will keep a very close eye and keep you posted today.
Molly, yesterday the United States was isolated at the UN, vetoing another Security Council resolution that was calling for a permanent ceasefire in Gaza. The 14 other members voted in favor of the resolution. Tell us why the U.S. was against this measure, and then what we heard from other member states.
Yeah, Savannah, there's clearly a consensus among the 15-member UN Security Council. The U.S. is obviously isolated. This is the 5th time they have voted and vetoed, against a draft resolution to protect Israel. And the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Dorothy Camille Shea, was very clear. She spoke before the vote. You can see her right there. She said it did not call for Hamas to disarm and leave Gaza. She said, quote, "It's unacceptable for what it does say. It is unacceptable for what it does not say. And it is unacceptable for the manner in which it was advanced." Now, the criticism from the other 14 members was was swift, I should say, and furious. China, for example, you guys, just as one example, a permanent member of the Security Council, said Israel has crossed every line. A lot of very similar sentiments from the other members.
Molly, thank you very much.
Some more world news now. In southern India, authorities say nearly a dozen people are dead after a stampede outside a cricket stadium.
NBC News international correspondent Claudio Lavanga has details here in other world headlines. Hey, Claudio.
Savannah, good morning. Well, that's right. Authorities in India say at least 11 people have died and another 47 were injured during a stampede outside a cricket stadium on Wednesday. Now, it happened in the city of Bangalore, where thousands of people gathered outside the stadium to celebrate the local cricket team's first Indian Major League win. The team had given away a limited number of free passes for the event, but the police says fans showed up beyond their expectations. The crowd got out of control when some people without passes, the police say, tried to push their way through the gates. Let's go now to the city of Cologne in Germany, where more than 20,000 people were evacuated for 12 hours on Wednesday, while experts defused 3 unexploded World War II bombs discovered during construction work on Monday. During the Nazi regime, Cologne was an important industrial and logistical hub and was a primary target by Allied bombers. This is not the first time undetonated bombs from World War II were discovered in Germany, but these are believed to be the largest found in Cologne and the closest to its city center. And let's end this tour of the world in Thailand, where an elephant decided to stop by a grocery shop to grab some snacks. Videos show the huge elephant walking into the shop near a national park, where he calmly snatched some snacks. The shop owner said the elephant ate 9 bags of sweet rice crackers, a sandwich, and some dried bananas. Well, somebody had to address the elephant in the room, so national park workers tried to shoo him away. Eventually, he slowly backed out, but not before he grabbed another bag of snacks with his trunk, guys.
That is crazy video.
That's amazing. And we're glad you addressed the elephant in the room, Claudia.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. All right, coming up, a new health warning this morning for millions of Americans.
When we come back, we will break down the results of a new study about a health condition many people don't even know they have. You're watching Morning News Now.
We are back with a new health warning that could affect millions of Americans. Nearly half of U.S. adults have blood pressure, high blood pressure. A new study finds many don't even know it.
Yeah, research published in JAMA Cardiology reveals 1 in 6 adults with hypertension are unaware they have it. That puts them at risk for serious issues like heart attacks and strokes. This condition is often called a silent killer, and doctors are now saying this latest data is a wake-up call.
Joining us now to break down why so many cases are going undetected, what to do about it, is NBC News medical contributor Dr. Natalie Azar. Good to have you with us. So just what stood out most to you in this new data?
So what was interesting was that this was looking at changes in awareness of high blood pressure over a 10-year period in individuals who were 20 and over. And across all ages, the number was 1 in 6 who were unaware. But the 2 data points that stuck out to me was that under the age of 45, that number increased to 1 in 3 people who were unaware. That's ages 20 to 44. It's the younger ones out there. And also that the percentage of women who were unaware increased also. The percentage of men who were unaware stayed the same, although across the board, more men are unaware than women are.
Why this change, do we think?
Well, so the period of time that they studied was between 2013 and 2023. So a lot of it, I think we're going to implicate, was the pandemic, which really disrupted a lot of doctor's appointments where you get those preventive screenings. And I think a lot of times people think of high blood pressure as an older person's disease, and they don't think that can apply to me at age 30 or 40. And When it's mild or moderate, you could be totally asymptomatic. It's not until the blood pressure starts to get significantly elevated that you may start to experience symptoms like headache or dizziness or, even chest pain or things like that. So that's why they call it the silent killer. You could walk around with high blood pressure and not really know it.
So it is a silent killer, but there are signs and symptoms we can look out for, right?
There are. And so I would say, if you are someone who on a regular basis is starting to experience any blurry vision, any headaches, dizziness, obviously, chest pain or things like that, irregular heartbeat sometimes, you should be evaluated. I think anything that's a change from normal is something that you would want to, seek attention. It's easy enough. You just get your blood pressure checked. It's not that hard.
Is that all that it is? Because, that's what happens every time you go for really any type of doctor appointment.
Right, which
you get a check on your blood pressure.
Like if you say, why are people unaware? You aren't getting your blood pressure checked. Like it's literally the easiest thing you can do. It happens at every physical that you would get. And you can also walk into a CVS and get your blood pressure checked. So
is there a chance that you could, though, when they put the thing around your arm, your oh my goodness, your reading is normal, and they say that to you.
Yes.
But that you need some other type of, like a blood draw or any type of scan of your arteries that might tell you more that's going on?
No, not for high blood pressure.
Okay.
But just in terms of what people can do at home, if you are interested in checking your blood pressure, you get a good heart monitor. You make sure that you check your blood pressure at the same time every day. Do 2 readings 5 minutes apart. Make sure you don't exercise, smoke, or drink caffeine 30 minutes ahead of time. And then you take that reading and then you go to your doctor's office around the same time and see if you match up. And then you can monitor at home. I mean, you don't want to go crazy over it, of course, but especially if you have a family history of high blood pressure, you definitely want to be more concerned. And there are medications and other conditions that can also contribute to the development of high blood pressure. And you need to prevent, right? High blood pressure can affect your brain and your heart and your eyes and your kidneys. So it's definitely something where we can intervene and make a difference, but you need to know.
This is one of those ones where you're going to get a personal phone call from me with more questions.
I had
excited about that.
I had a real feeling.
Dr.
Started asking questions.
Thank you so much.
On your own.
All right, now to a major medical milestone and a long-awaited homecoming for a Pennsylvania family. 10-month-old KJ Muldoon has spent nearly every day of his life in the hospital battling a rare genetic disorder. But thanks to a groundbreaking, first-of-its-kind gene editing therapy, he is finally home. NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett has more.
Hey there, when your child is sick, it's nearly impossible to focus on almost anything else. For KJ's parents, so many sleepless nights turned into a nearly year-long odyssey filled with so much uncertainty. That is, until they said yes to something new.
This may look like a regular weeknight at home, but for this Pennsylvania family, it's a dream 10 months in the making. That's because this smiley baby boy also happens to be the first patient ever treated with personalized gene editing therapy, a cutting-edge procedure that saved his life. When KJ Muldoon was born last August, he was unusually sleepy and not eating well.
How soon did you find out KJ had some serious health challenges?
I think about a day and a half. They thought it might be sepsis or meningitis.
Kyle and Nicole Muldoon soon received the news every parent fears.
And the doctor came over and was like, your son is very sick.
The devastating diagnosis, a rare genetic disorder, CPS1 deficiency, affecting just 1 in 1.3 million people.
Are you guys Googling like crazy?
For sure.
We're Googling, and Google's not the best place to go in that scenario.
The couple learned half of babies with CPS1 don't make it past their first week of life. Those who do survive often face significant mental and physical delays, a reality that hit hard when Kyle came home one day and stumbled across an Eagles jersey he bought for his son.
I forgot I even ordered it, and then I just sat here and I cried. And I was like, man, I don't know if he's ever going to wear this.
KJ's medical team moved quickly, creating a special infusion custom-tailored to target his specific genetic mutation.
I was like, you are explaining this kind of futuristic sci-fi, like out-of-this-world technology, like that I don't know not anything about. And you're like, you keep preface it by saying, like, I can't promise you anything. I said, like, with all due respect, like, my hopes are on me. If my hopes get broken, like, it's on me to figure out and move on. I said, I really just want you to shoot me straight.
Once the Muldoons were fully on board at just 6 months old, KJ became the first patient to undergo the treatment, sleeping through the entire procedure.
I was sweating. I was a nervous wreck just because, you know, he's the first. There is no data.
Eventually, Nicole was able to exhale because with each infusion, KJ kept getting better until finally, after 307 days in the hospital, he was cleared to go home.
Wow, you look so smart, KJ.
Earlier this week, donning a cap and gown to mark his discharge day.
When we walked out of his room and saw the entire hallway just lined with people and bubbles and all of these familiar faces that have taken care of him over the last 10 months, I couldn't help but cry.
Doctors, nurses, even the construction team Kyle works with building a new part of the hospital, all clapping and cheering for the baby who made history.
People love to say stuff like that, like, hey, we got your back. But when people show you that they do and they mean it, knowing you have those kind of people in your life is important.
KJ's now settling into his new life at home and experiencing so many firsts with his siblings by his side.
He never felt the sun on his skin or the wind, like things that you don't think about.
And so much life still to come.
Can't wait to see what he's interested in, you know, his first day of school and imagining all those things just like I would for the other kids. But at least I know we're getting that chance.
Kyle and Nicole would be the first to say KJ's health journey is not over, as his doctors have made clear this treatment is not a cure. The Muldoons still have to bring him to routine follow-up appointments, but for now, they're going to just enjoy being home with their baby boy, who turns 1 this summer. Back to you.
All right, Laura, thank you. Well, coming up, if you think you're being asked for more tips these days, you're not imagining things.
Yeah, up next, we're going to be digging into a new survey that says Americans are reaching a tipping point when it comes to tipping culture. We're back now with the latest on a legal battle that has erupted over a music icon's vast fortune.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett's widow has filed a lawsuit against the co-trustee of the late singer's estate, claiming he's failed to act in her best interests. NBC News correspondent Kaylee Hartung joins us for a look at exactly what's at stake. Hey, Kaylee, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. There's trouble in paradise. Jimmy Buffett's wife of nearly 50 years has filed suit. She is asking a court to remove their accountant as the co-trustee of the vast marital estate that Buffett left behind. The suit alleges the accountant failed to perform the most basic tasks, and it also raises questions about what's become of Buffett's massive fortune.
There's a big legal drama brewing this morning over the estate of music icon and entrepreneur Jimmy Buffett. The late singer's widow, Jane, is suing the co-trustee of Buffett's trust, alleging he's been mismanaging the fortune and acting openly hostile towards her. When Buffett passed away in 2023, he left behind a multi-million-dollar empire that spanned far beyond his hit songs, including the Margaritaville hospitality franchise that attracts some 20 million travelers a year. Buffett sharing the secret of his financial success with Today back in 2018.
If you're going to be successful, part of it, I think, was essential to take care of your own business and not let other people do it.
But after Buffett's death, his accountant, Richard Mosinger, began managing the $275 million marital trust Buffett set aside for his wife of 46 years, according to a legal filing by Jane Buffett. But the filing says Mosinger's management yielded more questions than answers, alleging rather than helping his recently widowed client understand her finances, Mr. Mosinger spent the next 16 months stonewalling and making excuses for why he could not yet provide the requested information. The filing also describes the shocking moment Jane Buffett says she finally learned the estimated income she was to receive, less than $2 million in net income, a remarkably poor return for a trust with an estimated $275 million in assets. The filing alleging that the majority of Buffett's widow's net worth is being controlled by someone she does not trust. Mosinger, meanwhile, filing his own petition in a Florida state court, calling for the removal of Jane Buffett from her roles as both co-trustee and as a personal representative of her husband's estate. The legal battle set to be heard in court on August 14th, with the future of the Margaritaville fortune at stake.
Now, this accountant, he claims that he was Jimmy Buffett's trusted financial advisor for more than 30 years. And he says that it was Jimmy who had concerns about Jane's ability to control these assets and manage these finances, which was why he was put in place. But look, I think this is the very beginning of a long and probably very difficult legal battle.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It.
Well, it feels like you're being asked to tip just about everywhere these days. You are not imagining it. From your morning coffee run to check out at the grocery store, more Americans are saying enough is enough. And it comes as a new survey shows frustration with tipping culture is on the rise. NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirst joins us now from Coral Gables, Florida with more. Hey, Jesse, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. Of course, the debate over this is nothing new, but now there are definitely some added economic pressures out there, simmering tensions over tariffs and trade. And on top of that, more people are saying they're annoyed when they see something like this, a free requesting screen suggesting you leave just a little something extra, including in some places that might surprise you.
From a quick coffee to your morning commute, pretty much every day comes with the same debate.
Come on, throw in a buck.
I don't tip.
You don't tip?
No, I don't believe in it.
And this morning, America is moving closer to a tipping point.
Why am I being asked to tip 20% for someone to hand me a pizza?
I was paying for groceries. They asked me if I wanted to put a tip onto that.
A new Bankrate survey finding more than 40% of Americans think tipping culture is out of control, a 6-point jump from last year. Bankrate says women are more likely to tip than men, while Gen Z and millennials are less likely to tip than older generations.
The classic restaurant tip is an automatic for you.
Yeah, for me, it's 20% all the time.
But where do consumers draw the line? In Miami, people tell us they've been asked for tips everywhere from the dog groomer to a convenience store.
You poured yourself the coffee.
Yes.
You brought it to the counter.
Yes.
And then when you went to pay,
yes,
suggested you give a tip.
Yeah.
So when you see that,
yeah,
what goes through your mind?
It's frustrating.
Perhaps one of the most infuriating forms of tipping, those gratuity suggestions that pop up when you pay at a store. Bankrate says staring down a pre-entered tip screen has a growing number of Americans saying they tend to tip less or not at all.
If you didn't think there was a peer pressure consequence, would you be walking out?
I would absolutely do no tip. And if it's an easy no tip, then I will no tip.
Coffee shop owner Orlando Superlano says a 10% surcharge is baked in to his customers' checks.
I want to say a high percentage of our customers actually say they want to tip more than what we're suggesting.
All of it as President Donald Trump pushes to eliminate the federal income tax on tips. But if you want to save on taxes, there's got to be something in the tip jar.
I'm sorry. And there's plenty more where that came from.
Stick of gum, a couple bucks, consider giving something if you can. Another debate in tipping culture is the automatic tip. You might be paying a tip automatically at a restaurant, may not realize it, then you add even more on, and then you're like, oh, I'm giving way more than I thought. That's something that comes up, right? Well, here at Grow, the coffee shop in Coral Gables, Florida, right outside Miami, they're telling you up front, they're warning you that you are going to be automatically paying 10% on top of your bill to help give something extra to their staff. And in the state of Florida coming up, guys, it is going to be legally mandatory that restaurants have on their menu a heads up if you are going to be paying an automatic tip. And aside from the food industry, we talked about, maybe rideshare, something like that. A place that I am kind of surprised we don't see 100% of people tipping is when you go get a haircut. They're holding scissors to your face. That, to me, feels like a no-brainer. Give them a little something extra.
That makes sense. Jesse, I agree with you. Thank you so much.
All right, more money news now. Procter & Gamble has announced new plans to cut thousands of jobs.
CNBC's Savannah Hanau has details here. Another Money News. Hey, Savannah.
Savannah, Joe, good morning to you. Yeah, Procter & Gamble is cutting 7,000 jobs. That's about 15% of its non-manufacturing workforce over the next few years. Now, the consumer products giant had roughly 108,000 employees worldwide as of last June. P&G also plans to trim the company's lineup, exiting some product categories and selling smaller brands in certain markets, but didn't offer specifics. In April, P&G reported a drop in quarterly sales and lowered its outlook for the year. Apple could announce several new features for the AirPods at its Worldwide Developers Conference next week. 9 to 5 Mac reports Apple may allow you to control your iPhone or iPad's camera with your AirPods, snapping a picture by tapping the stem. There will also be a sleep detection feature that would automatically pause whatever you're listening to when you fall asleep. And Meta has talked to several entertainment companies, including Disney and A24, about providing exclusive content for a premium virtual reality headset it plans to release next year. The Wall Street Journal reports the device, codenamed Loma, is more powerful than the current Meta Quest headset, but the design is similar to a large pair of eyeglasses like Meta's Ray-Ban AI glasses. The company plans to charge less than $1,000 for the device. That's more than the $300 starting price for the Quest, but much less than that $3,500 base price of Apple's Vision Pro, guys.
Savannah, thank you so much. Coming up, sardines are a staple of Mediterranean cuisine, and now they are the catch of the summer.
When we come back, we'll show you how the little fish having a big moment and even showing up in places you might not expect. Stay with us. Welcome back. We wanted to share something, a big honor here for someone very special to us here at Morning News Now, to Joe and me. Our boss, Executive Vice President of Programming, Janelle Rodriguez, has been inducted into the National Association of Hispanic Journalists Hall of Fame. The honor recognizes trailblazing journalists who have made a lasting impact on coverage of Latino communities. The award citation says Janelle is known as a newsroom leader who champions truth, mentors with purpose, and brings humanity to the highest levels of journalism. We are totally lucky that we see this for ourselves every day here at News Now.
Yeah.
She is the best boss.
She's absolutely the best. She's the reason that you are watching this show right now. We are so proud of her, though I should say too young to be in a Hall of Fame. I mean,
she's brilliant, though, so it makes sense. Faster than most. Janelle, we love you.
Finally, this hour, it seems every summer is a special trend, and this year it could be sardines.
Yeah, while the humble fish has been enjoyed for years, it is suddenly everywhere. NBC News business and data correspondent and finfluencer Brian Chung has the story.
Hey there, guys. We are here at the fantastic world of the Portuguese sardine. It is the only store in New York City dedicated entirely to tinned fish, and it speaks to this overall trend this summer of people loving sardines so much, they're even wearing it on their sleeve.
First, there was Barbie summer.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Then there was Brat summer. And now there's sardine summer.
What's going on with the sardines?
Yes, the tin fish are having their glow up with Google searches for sardines at a record high this month.
Who decided it was the summer of the sardine? They're on everything.
Companies like Fishwife saying consumers are looking for an escape.
Consumers associate tinned fish with this sort of aspirational travel experience where, you know, they're sitting on the Mediterranean coast, popping open a tin of sardines, having a bottle of wine, ripping a baguette.
In Times Square, there's even an entire store dedicated to tinned fish.
When people come in, are they like, what is this place?
Yeah, normally people enter and asking, what is this? It's chocolate? And no,
it's fish.
Fish. Entirely store about fish.
The fantastic world of the Portuguese sardine takes customers into a circus where the attractions are fins and tins. From sardines with a sweet side.
Here it's my favorite. It's sardines with sweet peppers.
To ones with a spicy kick.
It's got a little bit of kick to it.
Even sardines with gold.
I thought this was a real gold bar for a second.
And consumers are diving in. The global tinned fish market is expected to top $61 billion by 2030. The Portuguese company even noting that the American love of tinned fish has jumped to clothing and merchandise as well.
I already seen it over the place, sardines, so t-shirts with sardines, objects for our house, sardines.
And sardine lovers telling us that things are getting fishy at their favorite stores.
There's a lot of carpets here and there, and there's pillows.
Of tinned fish?
Yeah, canned sardines.
Canned sardines, specifically.
And there's pillows and everything. There's a huge amount of decoration.
Searches for sardine pajamas, hair clips, and bags topping Google queries for sardine-related items. Searches for a beaded sardine bag spiking over 300% in the last month.
Now get this, I can't even go 1 block away from work without coming across some fish fashion. Yep, tinned fish right outside of 30 Rock.
From kitchenware at World Market to dresses and candles at Anthropologie, sardines have become more than just a savory snack.
Food blogger Andrea Hernandez says it's true specifically among younger generations, where the higher costs of dining out have people wanting to glamorize cooking in.
People call it like recession core, the idea that tinned fish is seen as like idyllic or glamorized.
So from tins to tops and table settings, get ready for a sardine summer. And by the way, there are some real health benefits to eating sardines as well. They tend to have more omega-3, vitamin B12, and vitamin D than other traditional sources of protein like chicken. Guys, I'm going to enjoy this while I send it back to you.
Wow.
Breakfast.
Early morning sardine, huh? Thanks, Brian.
That's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now.
The news continues right now.